All right. So let me turn off. Sorry. Um, cool. But I'll just go ahead and continue. Hopefully, when we get to Kerri's part, we'll be able to get her unmuted. Scott, she sent me a text saying she was muted, so hopefully we get that figured out by the time she comes on, by the way. All right. But we do have a poll question coming up. So, what do you think are the biggest barriers to employment for people with IDD? That should be popping up here in a second for you. Answer whatever you think it is. Great. Looks like we got a lot of people saying willing employers. Transportation is the other big one. Lack of supports is a big one too. Happy to see that there's not too much of the job coaches one. That's good to know that we do have some good quality job coaches in our field. All right, so willing employers is the big winner here. Transportation and lack of supports are the three biggest ones. So good, that kind of helps us kind of with our presentation and kind of point towards what we think the biggest barriers are for people in employment, for people with IDD. So, why do you feel? Why do you feel are the reasons why people with IDD lose their jobs? We have another survey about that one. All right. Answer whatever you think. I'll give everyone a little bit of time to finish this one. Answer what you answer as many as you want to on this one. Soft skills looks like it's a big answer on this one. Denise, that's a good point. Willing employers are just uninformed employers. I believe I'd like to think it's more uninformed employers. That's my hope. That's my I would say optimistic hope that we could always turn an employer into a positive one. So that's a good point, Denise. Thank you for bringing that up. All right. So yeah, soft skills is definitely by far the biggest one here. It's with 50%. Conflicts with workmates and boss and transportation are other high ones on here too. So those are all reasons why people are losing their jobs. And Emily, yes, thank you too. I think many are unwilling because they are uninformed. That is very true too. Well, we hear from many employers that we work with that they don't know what they don't know, and once they start working with us and working with people with disabilities, they find a very attractive workforce. So it's on us to educate people and do that. So Emily, thank you for bringing that up very much. All right, so similar to what we did here with everyone here, we also did a survey of staff of capabilities. Now ours was a little bit different. What we were because we were trying to look and see. This is right before COVID hit, and we wanted to look and see what was keeping people from employment, and then also we wanted to find out if the mental health of people that we were serving warranted more specialized help. Because what we were looking for was we were looking to build our own software solution of our own and make some kind of software to remotely support people with disabilities. And we thought, well, we need to know what the problem is first. So we thought, let's go directly to our staff, about 150 specialized employment staff, and let's find out what they have. So we did get some results. We had a good mix of job developers and job coaches. And a good mix there. And so the concerns they highlighted were life changes, and then also transportation was a high one too. And getting enough sleep was another big one, and hygiene. So some more of the soft skill things that we kind of brought up too are definitely kind of being brought up here by our staff. They're problematic areas too. There's also mental health issues that affect work. Anxiety. I was surprised how many people were concerned about anxiety and fear and phobia, and that really kind of led us towards looking at some kind of specialized way to help people with their mental health at employment, because if you help them with their mental health, they can help them stay in their job longer, and then we can get better outcomes too, and we get paid more. So see, it all equals out when we do that. All right. Another big one was other problematic issues we looked at was time management, following through on task, initiating tasks. Those were all big ones. And you see our job coaches were a little more concerned even than the job developers too on those issues. But that just showed us that our old style task analysis and our old style flip cards that we had for people, maybe it's time to revamp those. Maybe it's time to look at some kind of different way of software solution of looking at how to remind people to do things, how to get people on track, how to do that when we're not there. 'Cause that's what we were looking to do, and so we thought we could give it a try. We also looked at physical issues that affect people at work. We asked all of our coaches and developers about that one. And so panic attacks. I was so surprised about panic attacks. I never would have thought that would be such a high one for concerns from our staff. But the other physical concerns weren't all that much, but the anxiety panic attacks was the big one. So once again, that's kind of hitting on that mental health of the people that we're working with, and looking at what kind of ways we can help support people with mental health barriers to be more successful on the job. All right, so the overall issues that we saw from the survey that we did with our staff was that anxiety and fear was a major issue along with those panic attacks. Um, so time management, follow through, and task initiating were other major issues that we really wanted to look to solve. So we wanted to find some kind of software solution to make this better for us and make it so that we could actually go forward and find a solution to our problem here. So we need to find help for people with mental health issues, and we need to find help people with time and task management. And we want to do that when we weren't there too, because we knew that we couldn't always be there, just with the staff that we had and the wide area that we were serving. We wanted to cut back on transportation cost of ourselves to drive back and forth from areas too. So we were looking to solve that kind of conundrum there. All right, we've got another poll question, and I think we already asked this one actually. So I was ahead of myself on this one, so we can skip this one for now. uh, so our first stab at this was building some kind of software solution on our own, and we quickly found out that we are not software developers. We are a human services company, and good at doing human services, and not that great at building a software solution. So we tried to build some calendar reminders, notifications for people using Gmail. We tried to schedule out tasks and routines for people on there. We found that more successful for people without intellectual disabilities, but people with intellectual disabilities, we found that it wasn't really built for them and didn't really fit their needs. And we didn't really find anything that we liked for mental health issues either, because even any of our own solutions that we tried, we didn't find anything that could really move the needle and really help people resolve their mental health issues and anxieties and phobias at work. Like, we could do some good storytelling, we could do some good things to talk with them, but we weren't finding anything that could really be proactive enough and really help people move forward with their mental health. So we decided we wanted a tested and proven solution. We wanted data on the back end when people completed items, because we thought, man, wouldn't this be the golden goose if we could get alerts and we can know how long people are taking to complete tasks. when we aren't there. We don't have to wait on the employer to tell us. We don't have to wait on the person served to tell us. We can just look at the data, and the data doesn't lie. So we were looking for a software solution that could tell us that and do all those give us all that great information. So I'm going to hand it over to Kerri now, and hopefully she can get herself unmuted now. So I'm going to head myself off, and hopefully we can get back to her.